right, good day. I'm your host, Michael Bell of the Caribbean Review, here at one of the only places, the best place to talk about brands, of course, Urban Threads. This is brought to you by Allen Analytics Marketing and LLC. I'm joined by an icon, fashion, entrepreneur, a daughter of the soil, the one and only Asante Sene. How are you? And thank you for coming on my show today.
I am good. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
No problem. I'm excited too. I mean, when you see her, she is a mogul in her own right. From going out for Fashion Week in New York, to modeling, to fashion, to the whole shebang, she is a mogul in her own right. So, Asante, my first question to you is, can you tell us about your journey in the fashion and hair care industry and getting KB Money House and Asante's Hair Studio started? What's that dream like?
Okay, so I could always do hair, right? I could always do little braids. Like in elementary, I used to braid people hair with pencil, like parted with pencil during lunchtime. You know, like braid the front. Middle school, I actually won the hair competition. So I could have always done it, right? Is when in 11th grade, I had get kicked out from my uncle. I wasn't behaving, you know? I wasn't bad, but I was kind of like not that good either, you know? So I got kicked out, and, you know, I needed to make money because I was young. You know, I was in 11th grade. I couldn't get a job. I think I was like 15. So I started to take hair serious because I was also in cosmetology school in Complex. But I only wanted to do hair products. I didn't really originally want to do it for hair. I wanted to just make my own hair care line because I always been natural. So then, you know, when that kicked out situation happened, I said, you know what, let me start taking hair serious, you know, to make some money or whatever. I also work Little Caesars. I work Little Caesars,
you gotta start somewhere.
I work Little Caesars, and I still did hair for, you know, a couple months. It wasn't a long time, and then I said, you know what, let me start to take hair very, very serious. And that's that. I mean, I bartended over the years, but still was doing hair occasionally for like the big events and stuff like that. And then eventually I said, you know, let me come out with my clothing line. You know, so KB Money House basically came about. First, it was not a good name. KB was not a very, very good name. I'm not going to say it until this interview. It was not a good name, but I was very, like, young, impulsive, and I had this idea, but everybody was still buying it. That's why I was like, you know, I doing something. If this is, I have a negative approach, but it doesn't have a negative meaning, but have a negative approach with it, you know, and people still buying. It's like, you know, people see an impact. They're looking past that, you know, the name. So I changed it to KnownBoss eventually. But right now I'm taking a pause on it, on the clothing brand, but I'm selling hair now. So KB Money House, you know, KnownBoss could be really, I could sell anything. So that's why I named it that, and I named it the KB Money House thing, because it's like, if I wanted to sell clothes again, I could sell clothes. If I want to sell hair and tie it in with SeNé Hair Studio, I could sell hair. You know, I could kind of be versatile with it a little bit, yeah.
That was cool. And I think that's a very interesting way of putting it. Yeah. I mean, that's dope. And I mean, when you think about it, in everything that you've done in this diverse field of from selling to doing hair and just growing your brand and your personal brand, my next question is, what motivated you to just... Not everybody can start a business just like that. Most people tell you, I have to research, I have to understand the market, I need to figure out what's my niche or what am I good at? Am I providing a service? What gave you that drive, knowing that as a young black woman and as an entrepreneur, to keep going, to continue to follow this dream that you wanted to chase?
Well, really and truly, I don't like being told no. I hate it. So I was like, you know, I always been going with money too. I always been going with money management. When I would ask my dad or my papa or anybody for money in family, and when I was a kid, I would always like, let's say they ask for 50 and they give you like a little 70, you know? I would always store the $20. I always been going with money management. And to myself, when I hit that stage in my life, you know, when I wasn't behaving and stuff like that, I was like, you know what? Everybody tired of my nonsense, so I need to make my own money and keep up with that. You know, like, I love doing hair too, you know, although I didn't think I was going to be doing hair, I know I wasn't going to college for sure. I don't like school, but I'm good at school. You know, I'm good at my work and stuff. I don't like school, but you have to love it. You have to love what you do in order to continue to go through with it, because they're going to have the bad days and they're going to have a good day. Not every day going to be good. Some days you're going to feel like having people in your face, but the fact that I love to do hair, I don't exalt that energy and just do what I have to do.
It's dope. And I think, no, and she's right. And I think that is vastly important about having a passion and a love for it, because what you put in is what you're going to get out of it. And even if it takes years to really build yourself, I mean, it's all worth it in the long stream. And I think most importantly, you're dealing with something very intimate, which is person to person, customer to customer. So my next question really is, what's a memorable customer experience for you?
Like good or bad?
Good. We'll start with the good.
I feel like I don't interact with a lot of good people. Like, I feel like I have a therapeutic energy too. I feel like dealing with customer service, you have to kind of branch off and be a little therapist in a way. So people don't confide in me with a lot of stuff. And so I feel like I don't overwhelm me to a lot of good people. I could have conversations with a lot of different people because I don't choose to educate myself on a lot of different topics too. But I feel like I do have a lot of good interaction with my clients. I really do. You know, some people have a little weird off energy, but I know how to kind of like maneuver that, whether we won't talk, or I could kind of like pin around to see how I could get this person to kind of be comfortable and, you know, stuff like that. But I feel like majority of my, I don't know.
I have to admit, she's telling the truth. I think when it comes to doing your hair and stuff like that, it becomes a very religious and very person to person oriented thing. I mean, I go to the barber shop and it's one of my favorite things to do. Like, I can just blow off some steam and just sit and relax. And I think that's a weird phenomenon. I don't know why it's like that, but everybody will tell you the barbershop or the hairdresser, that's your time. That's nobody else's time. So I agree with that.
As a person, you have to make sure that you could balance out your two. So sometimes when I'm having a bad day personally, I don't want a little mask. I just say my little mask because you don't know if this person only time, you know, you don't know what's their personal life like. This is the only time to look good, feel good, and talk about this stuff. So I don't want to say my personal issues and put this nice energy and aura and everything to my clients. So you gotta make sure you gotta balance out that too. It ain't being fake, but it's almost like you have to learn how to be professional still. And if I really can't take out, I'll be like, hey, you know, I have a headache. I would tell like a small little white lie and be like, I have a headache, you know, I can't talk today. It's really extreme.
For sure, I get it. And I mean, we have good and bad days. Yeah. So and I'll be real, like, you know, have you ever had a really bad customer experience?
So I've had a recent one actually this year. I've had, over the years I have, you know, but this year it was like, what? But I feel like people that choose not to understand you because, you know, like, I don't sound like the devil. Sometimes the devil be knocking on your door. It's almost like, you know, you try to pop this nice energy and stuff and, you know, be very understanding. But they don't try to kind of take it out of context. I feel like any food person will understand. Like, if you say, like, ain't got no chicken, oh, well, I want chicken. It's like, it don't have any chicken, ma'am. How many? Well, I want chicken. This a chicken. Okay, it doesn't have chicken today. You know, you have to. But I feel like I dealt with a situation like that. I feel like I dealt it as professional as I could. You know, until I don't get a little ignorant sometimes because it's almost like I'm professional, but please don't push it. I'm still only 25. I'm still trying to mature. You know? You know, but I did experience something really bad. But I felt like I dealt with it a little professional. You want me to go in depth of it? Okay. Okay, yeah, I felt like that.
No, that's dope. And I think, like, when it comes to dealing with your promotions and trying to network with all your clients, you know, we live in an age where social media is this big thing. And, like, so, like, for you, what's that like, making sure that all your clients are happy, that you're engaging with them and trying to make sure that you're getting that feedback and you're making sure that you're staying on top of them to make sure that their experience is the best experience possible?
Well, I like to make sure I would get to know my clients, like what they're doing it here for. I like to give my opinion on what they should or shouldn't do. But, of course, at the end of the day, it's a client choice. So as far as like promoting, that's what you try to say, promote. Also, I don't just be myself. I started to do more of the TikToks. I'm not really tech savvy, like I just told you. Like, so I don't know how to do transition and stuff. I don't just basically be myself and promote my business and you know, stuff like that. And I got a lot more customers, to be honest, just doing that. Or even just making sure I look the best I can look when I go. So when people be, oh, who do your hair? Me. Oh, you didn't know how to do hair? Yeah.
No. And then that's why we're here. And that's why we're here. We're here for that. We're here to make sure that the brands and the identity that who you are is properly represented. And that's kind of why this series is focusing on local success with business owners just like Asante. Tell me, like, with everything you've achieved and you've done so far, what are some of the challenges you face while building this brand?
Okay, so to me, in the beginning, the challenges I used to face is people not really believing that hair makes money, right? So I felt like when I used to tell people, oh, I don't do hair for a living, they used to be like, okay, and what else? It never used to be like, a big thing to be a hairdresser. Now when I tell people I do hair, it's like, oh yeah, they don't already know after back there. She making that money, you know? But to me, that was my challenges at the beginning, like people not really believing in me or trusting the process. So, you know, it was like a lot of people, you know, people don't give you opinion when you don't ask them. It's like, oh, you know, you could be doing this, you could be doing that. It's almost like, you need to stop doing hair, that don't make no sense. I would tell people, listen to what you want to do and what you believe in. Because if I was to listen to people years ago and say, oh, go to college, go to job corps, go to, and I'm saying, I would have never been this person to them.
That's true. I mean, and I think that's an interesting thing for you because we've seen that the growth has been very interesting to watch all over social media. Anybody you notice when it comes to prom, when it comes to weddings, when it comes to any special occasion, this is the young lady that gets at all the time on social media, being like, you know, hair, makeup, and then Asante right there. So I think you I know.
Makeup today, but yeah, I don't do makeup.
But I will say though, the talent and the skill is always recognized. I mean, you literally participated in Caribbean Cuts did their little barber thing, and you participated. And I see that's another interesting thing. So you know, you're a household name. You built such an empire that it's worthy of respect because a lot of people do not see the time and dedication that I think that you've taken to really. This is like a baby. So you've fostered it, you've grown it to the point where it's so proud to be what it is. What's the future going to be like? What's the next big thing for you?
So right now, I don't usually talk about like everything I do, but for right now, I'm a homeowner now. So what I'm doing is I want to do real estate. I want some more mold into that. I can't do here forever. You don't get carpal tunnel, your hand will mash up. You know, I can't do it forever, but I probably will eventually open up, like, you know, a shop and stuff like that. Some people told me I should open up a shop first before I do the home ownership, but to be honest, I had the same money about to put into that shop, you know, put into your home. So which one make more sense? You know, that kind of house. So right now I'm renovating my home to rent out, and that is one of my long-term goals, because I at least want to have two more to my name and just, you know, have that slow income coming in. It's not going to be the fast money like how I do here every day, but it will be, you know, that slow, consistent money retirement type of plan. Yeah.
Okay. See, you hear that? I see future planning, trying to move along. Those are all the great things of being in local success. And I have to ask this question because I think it's something. It's like a parallel almost. As a young business owner, what's it like competing against people that are in an older subset? Basically, what's that like?
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't compete with people. Like, I be more inspired by people. Like, I like to learn from people. Like, I feel like that's how I became so successful also, because I learned, like, from the OG hairstylists, like, okay, what not to do. Like, I take little breaks with hair. Like, for 3 months, I don't do braiding. You know, stuff like that to give my hands a break. And I feel like that'll continue the longevity of doing hair. So I don't look at them as competition. I look at them as more inspiration to learn from them on what not to do, what to do, and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to sound like very humble. I really don't look at people as competition. No. I get inspired for sure.
Definitely. And I think coming into that, I think that's a great mindset to have, because I think there is a lot you can learn from an older generation. You know, I know we as the younger generation, older generation, we like to go back and forth on what we think is right. But I always think there's something that you definitely can learn. And I definitely think that's a dope answer to give. So we got a lot of interesting products here. Talk to me. Tell me what we're looking at.
Okay, so whoever been with me for the past years, I have evolved in this body thing. Okay, it used to look like a pillowcase. It used to be sharp and looking funny. But now this have been the final product for like 3 to 4 years. So it's a long silk bonnet, double satin, of course, with my logo on it, and it's versatile. So it's perfect for the long braids, the long locks, anything heavy, so the double satin can secure it. And if you don't want it long anymore, you could just clip it up. The clip is right there and make it a lot more shorter. And then, of course, I'm not selling the merch at the moment, so it's KB hair collection, KnownBoss hair collection, which I have it right now. See how nice and silky it is. Already the lace is giving scalp, guys. And so since April, I've been selling the black hair. So now I'm evolving into the colored hairs and stuff like that. So this month I did the 613. So that's basically it.
No, that's dope. That's dope. I'm going to give you that chance now. Talk to your community. Tell them, you know, about you, and maybe give some advice. You never know. There might be a young lady in the cosmetology classes when it comes down to wanting to do this or go the distance with something like this. What would you be advice to them?
Okay. like I said already in this interview, choose you. Want to do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because it's a trend. Don't do it because somebody tell you to make a lot of money, because you don't want to say you make all this money now and you're doing it for the money. Because of course I love money. I love money, but at the same time, I just don't love the money. I love the fact that I could do here, make somebody look good, feel good, you know, all of that good stuff. So you have to remember you're doing it because you love it. Whether it's hair, nails, mechanic, whatever it is in whatever field, do it because you want to do it. Now, you could also have like different tasks underneath the same thing. So 1 minute you could take a pause, because a real boss will take a pause. You don't ever retire. You know, you take a pause from something. So just like how I took a pause from, you know, the t-shirt brand, that don't mean that's it. I'm gonna eventually come back out with something else, but still have the love and the drive for it. Just don't do it for money. Always do it because you truly want to do it. Because if I was to listen to people, I'd have never been Asante Sene today. Okay?
You guys heard it here first. Icon, mogul, businesswoman from the Caribbean, daughter of the soil, the one, the only Asante Sene. We are here with local success stories. You already know this is IAMCX. I'm your host, Michael Bell. We are here in what better place to talk about brands than being surrounded by them here in Urban Threads. Thank you so much. And stay tuned for our next episode. This has been the Caribbean Review.